Hey there, welcome to Procon Grey. So earlier this week I bought these XReal Air VR AR mixed reality glasses, and I've been using them fairly regularly since for the past couple of days. So I thought I'll give a review about the pros and cons of these glasses. The first thing I like about them is the portability. So all I need when I want to use them wherever I am is just the glasses itself, a braided USB cable that comes with the glasses, the case, which is pretty small and seems like a regular sunglasses case, and if it's really bright outside, then maybe the light shield. Nothing else required. But that's about it. Very easy to carry, very portable. And the second thing I like are the looks. I think it looks like regular sunglasses. Yes, because of the optics, it tends to stick out a little bit in front of your face, but by and large, I think this is the most natural looking mixed reality glasses that you can get. It's very comfortable to wear. It's got regular tinted frames, so I can use them as regular glasses. And yeah, they do stand out a bit. They do stick out from your face a little bit, and that's again because of these optics, but nothing too unsightly. The next thing I really like about these are the image quality. So looking at them, I thought that they can't be very good. Like the displays seem so tiny, right? But while they are small, what they project is a massive 100+ inch display in front of your face, and it's not directly right up against your eye, but the display focal length is such that it makes you feel like you're watching a 100-inch TV screen or a large IMAX screen when watching content. The text is clear enough. It's a 1080p screen, so it's fairly legible. The image quality while watching videos and playing games is fantastic. Because it's an OLED screen, the images really pop. So I completely enjoy watching content on this. And again, because it's so comfortable, I can just wear it and lie back in bed and watch content. The next thing that I like about these headsets, which may be a disadvantage to some, but I like the connectivity options. Because it's a standard USB cable, I can connect this to a number of different devices, be it smartphones to tablets to PCs to gaming consoles. It connects to a variety of them. All you need is a USB-C cable that displays that has a display out port. Or if you don't have that, I think XReal does sell some adapters that you can use to still connect and get display. Because essentially these glasses, they act like a display output, just like a secondary monitor or a projector or a television screen. So it doesn't have any computation on board. It doesn't have any battery on board. For this, it relies on your device that you carry with you. And in pretty much all cases, we will be carrying our mobile phone, and in many cases, we might have a gaming console, handset gaming console with us as well. So I like the fact that it extends what you already have as opposed to being a separate standalone compute device. I mean, there's pros and cons to that, and we can discuss that later. So let me tell you a little bit about how I've been using it. So I've been using this with my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. I just plug the cable into the USB-C port of the phone, plug it into the headset, and automatically the Galaxy detects this as an external monitor and activates DeX, so I get a full desktop experience. In addition to that, I use my Bluetooth keyboard with a mouse, and I've got my full computer, full portable PC experience on the go. Got my phone in my pocket, the keyboard and mouse, headset, massive computer screen. And I've actually used this to answer some office emails, review some documents, actually work on an Excel file. It was fairly comfortable. The next thing I connected these glasses to was my laptop. And thankfully the Asus ROG G14 comes with a USB-C port. So I was able to plug it directly in, and it automatically duplicated mirrored the display. So I had my laptop and regular laptop screen, and next to that, in space, floating in space, I had a massive a replication of the same laptop screen. So I was able to move the laptop screen aside and then work using the keyboard and on this big, massive virtual display. Worked on a couple of documents, emails, watched a couple of videos, browsed. It was a very, very seamless experience. So I thoroughly enjoyed using this with my laptop. I also played around with extending the display. So where I had my laptop displaying, say, a one document, and I had a Word doc moved over to the virtual display, so I could type and look at that content while working on this content. So it was pretty cool using that as an extended display. So again, pretty happy with those two experiences. I need to talk about software. See, if your phone doesn't support DeX, then just plugging it in and all you'll get is mirroring the phone's display, which is still pretty good, and again, it's taking the small phone's display and blowing it up on a massive screen. Watching content is great. There's also a separate app that XReal ships that's called Nebula. Now, for some reason, this app wasn't available on the Play Store in India, so I will put a link below on where I got the APK file. But what this app does is it creates a separate interface. So you have two modes when you use the app. One is your existing screen mirroring called AR casting. And the second mode is this AR space, which creates this virtual multi-tile experience in front of your face. And what's interesting about this is as you move your head across and as you look across the screen, the tiles stay in place and more tiles emerge from the left and the right. So kind of creates this immersive heads-up display, if you will. And all these tiles are your different apps and website, browser, games, etc. So it's a pretty cool immersive experience. You can customize it. And even watching YouTube content inside this experience was pretty cool because you can expand and shrink the screen. So having it really big means it's actually much larger than the 100-inch. I think it goes up to about 200 plus inches. So it's a huge display. And if you zoom in too much, you can't see all of the screen, but you can just move your head around and you can see different parts of the video playing. Or you can zoom out and you can put multiple different tiles and have multiple screens playing at the same time. So it is pretty immersive, but this is only if you can find the app and get it working on your phone. Now, when it comes to PC, there is no Nebula app, but I believe one is being developed. For the M1 and M2 Max, however, there is a Nebula version available, and that creates a very similar virtual desktop experience where you can have 3 screens in front of you and work on them simultaneously. So this sounds pretty cool. But funnily enough, there's no Nebula app for iPhone. Partly there's no USB-C port for iPhone, so I think that's a bit of a problem. You know what? This brings me to what I don't like about the XReal Air. So one is the software and the ecosystem. So you have the Nebula app available for Android, but not for Windows PC, not for iOS phones, but for Macs running the M1 and M2 chips. So it's not consistent. And even there, the experiences do vary. And the fact that I have Nebula running on my phone was also pretty disappointing because a lot of the apps that were there in terms of tiles were not available. I couldn't access them. I click on them, nothing happens. So I went to the XReal store and I went to their labs section where they've curated a bunch of apps that run for the XReal devices. Now, of the 20 apps that I saw curated there, only 6 actually ran on this device. The remaining were for an older version called the XReal Lite, which was sad because this is your latest device. You want to have a lot of content available for people to use and experience it, but there isn't. Even those 6 apps that I tried out were pretty disappointing. The quality was subpar. It didn't speak to the capabilities of modern smartphones and the display tech. Now, granted, XReal, I keep saying XReal, it's a previous name. XReal is a new company. This is only their second product and it's a very, very new space. But I do hope that more developers get on board and create more immersive apps and games for this device and for devices like these, because I do believe that this, at least in the short term, this is the immediate future for mixed reality. Now, to sum up, I like the looks, I like the portability, I like the convenience of this. I certainly like the image quality. And I'm glad that there are a lot of connectivity options that over time will just get better. What I don't like is the limited software support. I also don't like the very limited side-by-side 3D content. Oh, this is not a complaint to XReal. This is more something that I complained about in my previous video as well on the GeoDive VR headset. That back in 2014, 2015, there was so much content, so much 3D VR side-by-side video content available. Today there's hardly any. I did check out some videos on YouTube, but all of them were a couple of years old. The image quality wasn't that great. I'm hoping that this and devices like these bring back or encourage content creators to create content in 3D side-by-side virtual reality, because that, with this image quality, would be game changing. I also feel the price could be a little lower. I think $300 could be a sweet spot for this. This was about $379. But look, it's a new product, and I'm sure in time it'll get cheaper. So let me end here. But do join me for my next video where I compare these glasses against your newly announced Apple Vision Pro, as well as the Meta Quest 2, Meta Quest 3s, and some of the other inexpensive VR headsets like the GeoDive VR. So stay tuned for that, and this is ProCon Gray signing out. Thank you.